Delilah Darling is in the Classroom by Jeanne Willis and Rosie Reeve. My name is Queen Delilah. I come from a land far, far away. Really, I do. But my mother says, really? You don't, darling. You come from here and so does your little brother. That is nonsense, I'm afraid. She's even forgotten I'm a queen. Otherwise, she'd let me have a pet rhinoceros. Where I really come from, all the best queens have at least 11 rhinoceros. But my mother says, Delilah, darling, you're making it all up. Besides, you already have a cat and a dog. Well, maybe not all queens have 11 rhinoceros, but they all have some, and I'm not allowed any. It's not fair. It's snowing today. I want to wear my sparkly heels, but my mother says, Delilah, darling, you are not wearing those to school. So I say, why not? Where I come from, everyone wears sparkly heels in the snow. I'm not allowed to wear my golden crown either. So I've made one out of paper. It's in my lunchbox under my cheese sandwich. Here I am, walking to school with Gigi. Gigi is my old pair. She came from a town called France to look after me and my brother, small boy. But really, I'm the one who looks after her. See, I have to hold her hand so she doesn't run into the road. In the cloakroom, Mrs. Millet says, pick your coat up and hang it on your peg. What a funny place to put it. Where I come from, we all hang our coats on the floor. This is me in school assembly with my best boyfriend, Lucian Lovejoy. Assembly is when you have to sit on the floor and listen to blah 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 until your bum goes numb. In assembly where I come from, we're allowed to bring big pets like rhinoceros, giraffes, and gorillas to sit on. They're very comfortable actually. What if you only have a small pet like a newt? Whispers Lucian. Then they are allowed to sit on us, I tell him. Lucian Lovejoy, stop giggling, shouts Mrs. Millet. I don't know why. Where I come from, it's rude not to giggle if it's funny. Now I'm doing sums. Mrs. Millet says, what does one cake plus another cake make? And I say, I know, it makes you sick. Mrs. Millet says, Delilah, darling, please don't shout out. And Lucian Lovejoy, stop laughing. What is 1 plus 1? He doesn't know. So I whisper the answer in his ear. It's 11, he says. There is no such number as 11, says Mrs. Millet. But there is where I come from. We count like this. 1 ga, 2 do, 3 ba, 4 bo, 5 fa, 6 b, 7 ba, 8 is, 9 c, 10 ga, 11. After sums, we do PE. PE is short for prancing excitedly. At least it is in the land where I come from. But Mrs. Millet says to choose a partner and pretend to be mice. So me and Lucian go crash, crash, thump, and roar. Mrs. Millet shouts, what are you doing? Mice are tiny, quiet creatures. And Lucian says, not where Delilah comes from. Yes, I say, in the land where I come from, the mice are huge and noisy. They go blam, blam, blam. Not in my class, they don't, says Mrs. Millet. Be sleeping mice. So we go snore, snore, snore. There are days, says Mrs. Millet, when I wish I work in a library. Mrs. Millet says she is so glad it's playtime. It's my favorite too. I've got my skipping rope. Howard Charlotte Griggs says, I bet you can't skip to 10. So I count 1 ga, 2 do, 3 ba, 4 bo. Ha ha! Laughs Howard Charlotte. But where I come from, we always fall over when we go to 4 bo. It's the rules. I bet she can't do it. Charlotte says, bet I can, and falls over brilliantly. Now everyone wants to try. Stop that game, says Mrs. Millet. The school nurse will run out of plasters. After playtime, we do art. Today, whoever paints the best animal picture gets to keep Polly and Dolly, the school hamsters, for the weekend. Lucian can't think of any animals, so I tell him to paint a hamster. Here's my picture of the pets that live in my faraway palace. Look at Delilah's wonderful painting of guinea pigs, says Mrs. Millet. But anyone can see they are not guinea pigs. They are rhinoceros. I wonder if Mrs. Millet needs glasses. Yippee! I've been chosen to look after Polly and Dolly. Only Polly is covered in blue spots. I hope she's not ill, says Mrs. Millet. It's all right, says Lucian. Delilah Darling told me to paint a hamster, so I did. When Gigi picks me up from school, she says my painting is magnifique. She can tell it's a herd of rhinoceros straight away. They know a lot about art. The French. The next day, Gigi says, ooh la la, I thought there were 2 hamsters. Yes, Polly and Dolly, I tell her. But Gigi says, I think you are not learning your sums, Delilah. Count again. So I do. And oh, there's 1 ga, 2 do, 3 ba, 4 bo, 5 fa, 6 b, 7 ba, 8 is, 9 c, 10 ga, 11 hamsters. I was right. 1 plus 1 does equal 11. Well, it does if you put a mommy hamster and a daddy hamster together by mistake, like Mrs. Millet. Fancy her not noticing Polly Hamster was really Wally Hamster. And guess what? My mother says me and small boy can have a baby hamster each. I know it's not the pet you had in mind, she says, but you can always pretend. Pretend? Funny old thing. Doesn't she know real queens never pretend? Here's my new pet. Isn't he the sweetest baby rhinoceros you've ever seen? The end.